I hope everybody's having a great hump day. I appreciate you tuning in today. I want to talk about guys that I think we should pick up, and it's going to be a couple of receivers. We've already talked about one of these guys earlier this year, but I want to talk about two guys. It's going to be TY Hilton and Jarvis Landry. And the case for TY Hilton makes itself, right? He's the ghost. He's our guy. He went and played a couple games for the Cowboys, and that hurt, especially because he was making plays for the Cowboys. But for us, he had 9,691 yards and 53 touchdowns. Ends up as a four-time Pro Bowler. And if he comes back and he's able to get 309 yards for the Colts, he'll be only the third wide receiver in Colts franchise history to have 10,000 yards. The other two being Reggie Wayne and Marvin Harrison. Him joining that club, like he's close enough that, they're basically going to count him in anyways. But being able to get him to 10,000 yards is something that I would like to see us do, especially with what we have going on at receiver. I think you add T.Y. Hilton in. He's somebody who can play that outside role and can start splitting reps with Alec Pierce as we go down the season. And he's somebody that can still open up the field, right? He can also get Josh Downs off the field and give Josh Downs a breaker. Have T.Y. Hilton and Josh Downs on the field at the same time, but have T.Y. in the slot and have Josh Downs on the outside, right? You can do different things. And I think that would be exciting. Like, yes, that would be very exciting, especially if, I think the realists out there, we can all say that the Colts aren't a Super Bowl team. So if we're not going to be a Super Bowl team, and if we're going to be, that 7 seed, the 7 seed, in my opinion, is a seed in the playoffs. Should have never happened. But whoever gets the 7 seed, is never going to win a Super Bowl. That team probably shouldn't have been in the playoffs anyways. I wouldn't be surprised if the Colts ended up as a 7 seed with the way the AFC is looking right now. And I think TY can help us get to that point, and I think he can make us more exciting. Having TY out there catching passes, even if he's only playing 35 to 45% of the snaps, right? And splitting, a decent amount of reps with Alec Pierce, helping get Josh Downs a little bit of rest at the end of his rookie season. I think it would be a valuable piece to bring in. And it'd also be good to have a guy like T.Y. Hilton because he's been around great quarterbacking, right? He was with Andrew Luck for so much of his career, had some time with Philip Rivers, and had a little bit of time with Carson Wentz. So if he can come in and be able to help Gardner out some and help Gardner be able to quarterback the offense better from what T.Y. Hilton knows could work, then I think that's something, right? And when you bring up Jarvis Landry, I put him in this conversation because he's another receiver, kind of the same kind of receiver, just doesn't stretch the field the same way that T.Y. Hilton does. Obviously not as explosive, but you look at what he's done in his career in less games than T.Y. He has more catches, even though T.Y. has a lot more yards. For T.Y.'s career, he's at 15.4 yards per reception, where Jarvis Landry's at 11 yards per reception. But Jarvis Landry also has experience with the ball in his hands in other ways. He has 40 rushing attempts in his career, 5 rushing touchdowns, 98 punt returns in his career, 1 punt return touchdown, 49 kick returns in his career, right? This is a guy that's a 5-time Pro Bowler, somebody that is very useful. Again, not exactly a guy like Josh Downs or T.Y. Hilton, but a veteran wide receiver that could come in, have a lot of the same qualities that T.Y. Hilton could, would probably be cheaper than T.Y. Hilton probably would, even though both these guys, where they're at in their careers, would probably be relatively cheap, especially compared to what the top flight wide receivers are making. But I just thought it was, noteworthy to bring these guys up. I've been thinking about, wide receivers that we could bring in. I saw other guys on the list. We brought in Sammy Watkins for a workout, and they chose not to sign him. And I'll be interested to see if they decide to do anything late this week or into the weekend, early next week on Monday or Tuesday. But, again, Sammy Watkins is on the list. Kenny Galladay is on that list. And to be fully transparent, I haven't checked to make sure that all these guys, I know some of these guys on this list are on teams right now. So I haven't checked it all, but, Chosen Anderson, Traquan Smith, if he's available to pick up, I think he's an intriguing player. Kind of a lot like a T.Y. Hilton in the way he can stretch a defense. Obviously just not, as talented as T.Y. Hilton was. But he's only 27 years old, might be worth a shot. But we also have KJ Hamler. So, if we're going to go that route, then I think KJ would get a nod. But for me, when it comes down to it, I would love to see again, and I said this earlier, but I would love to see T.Y. Hilton break over 10,000 yards, not only in his career, but 10,000 yards as a Colt. And again, he only needs 309 yards. I think we can get that done, and I think it'd be awesome to see that happen. And maybe after a little self evaluation through this bye week and a little consideration and looking through who's available and who might be wanting to get on a team somewhere, maybe TY comes back and is able to get that done. I'm not sitting here saying that I've heard any information. I'm not saying that this is something I expect to happen, but man, I would love to see TY back. And I'd like to know what you think about this. Do you think we should go after TY Hilton or Jarvis Landry or any of these other wide receivers that are available? And if you do, let me know down in the comments. But again, TY Hilton to the Colts. That's what I hope is happening. I, again, haven't heard a single thing, but I really hope it's able to happen. I want to see him join that 10,000 club as a Colt and join Reggie and Marvin so that we can always make sure, just make sure that he's always mentioned in the same categories as Reggie and Marvin, because NFL history might not remember him that way. But T.Y. Hilton was an absolute dog and was an amazing player. Again, a 4-time Pro Bowler. I'd like to see him put on the horseshoe at least one more time. So again, you let me know what you think about this down in the comment section. Don't forget to like, subscribe, keep those notifications on. We have videos every single day. And until next time, as always, take care of yourself, take care of each other, and go Colts.